Hey guys, welcome back. Part two. Sorry, I was going to do it last night and I got tired and laid on the couch and I'm old and I fell asleep. Leave me alone. No, I dozed off on the couch. I woke up. It was like an hour later. I was like, fuck that. I'm going to bed. Do it today. So I'm back with part two of the 1996 summer. Um, for those of you who didn't watch the first video or maybe already forgot, I don't know, you might have bad memories like me. Too many shots to the head. Actually, I have a really good memory for. I have a bad like short term memory, but I have a really good long term memory. I mean, that's the nostalgia in me, I guess. Um, anyway, I was talking about my 1996, 18 years old, last summer vacation. Really, after that, and a couple things that happened, and a couple colognes, and how they're linked together in my memory that year. I want to talk real quick why it's such a memorable year. I think you're like 18 years old, technically adult. Now now I go to prison for stuff. But yeah, so that was a big year. I turned 18 that summer, that June. Um, but also the last year of high school, like I said, high school was done. Uh, I stuck around an extra year to play ball one more year. Um, but yeah, it was done. Uh, it was really good summer. Like I said, the last real summer of youth. Like I said, before you had to man up, and become an adult. Ugh, man. I mean, I like being an adult, but sometimes you miss those, just the carefreeness of it. I'm no worries really. I mean, we had worries, but I mean, and at the time they were huge, but you're looking back, they were superficial, right? Completely superficial. Um, but how we worried about them so much, like you do something not even ridiculous, you just trip, you think, everybody sees you fall and you're like mortified by it. And it's like, nah, you didn't care. You're gonna help me up, screw you, you know. So yeah, or our worries that, boyfriends and girlfriends we had been going out with, and it's like, wow, now it's kind of like, hey, you want to leave, go. Like, just you get a little jaded, I guess, as you get older. A little more jaded would be the term. Um, but yeah, anyway, yeah, that's what we started with. Go back and watch part one if you haven't yet, because it leads into part two, which is going to be, again, I talked about that me and the girlfriend at the time, pretty much all through high school. So for kids, that's a long, long fucking time. We had just broken up, a few weeks before that, a month or so before that, and I had a few of my friends, you know, call me, ask me what I'm doing, because I'm in a bit of a funk, of course. Who wouldn't be? It's all right, man. You're allowed to have feelings. For the love of God, you're allowed to express them. You're allowed to cry. All that stuff. Just don't hold it in, man. Um, So anyway, I was just in a funk. I said, no, I don't want to go anywhere. And I'm making excuses, oh, the old man's out. I can't use the car. Oh, we'll pick you up. Oh, I've got no money. Okay. Oh, we'll buy your drinks. And fine. You know what I mean? Kind of like just, whatever. Sure. Come grab me. So they came and grabbed me. And we went to the beach. And, we played around football, catch, little teenage boys do tackle without gear. We didn't really try to hurt each other, though, of course, but still, a couple guys got bumps and bruises. But the fellow who came to work to drop his dog off, Terry, he broke his finger. I can't remember who threw the ball, but we were just throwing the ball and stuff. And he went to catch it, and when he did, and some of you people who played caught it. Anybody, almost anybody's had this happen, I guess. It doesn't matter gender, who you are, whatever. You've caught something where it's hit the tip of your finger, bent your finger back. Well, this bent his finger right back, and pretty much, well, he did break it. Actually, it was this finger here. I can't remember which hand, but it was the up yours finger. Because the whole day he'd make a fist the whole night. He'd be like, "You shooting this bird? Shut up, man." Um, anyway, did he go to the hospital? No. Did he even take an Advil for the swelling or Tylenol for the pain? No. What did he do? He got in his little car thing, little Rover thing, whatever it was, little 4x4, and he went up the road about 15 minutes. There's a store, got a popsicle, put the popsicle on it, let the popsicle melt till froze it a bit. Then took the sticks and cleaned them off in the lake, and then he went to his little vehicle there and got a hockey tape that was in the back of his trunk. I mean, this is Canada. All boys have hockey tape in their trunk, no matter what time of year it is. And actually, I'm pretty sure I probably still have some of mine right now. So it's Canada. This is the way it goes. Anyway, and he made a splint, taped it up, and self-medicated with some alcohol and some marijuana. So it was funny. It was just funny. We teased him all night about it, and it ended up being a really good day. Um, and It was just a really good day. And what was I wearing that day? It was cool water during the day. Um, yeah, I put it on before we went, and and it was, and when I smell it, I'm instantly brought back to many memories, but that's one of them, and one that really stuck in my head because I was talking to him about it basically the other day, some of the silly stuff we did, and yeah, and I remember it was cool water because uh, I had brought it with me, and half of the other guys are, oh, give me a spray of that. And I end up half my bottle gone by the end of the day, right? Because you're half a dozen, 10 fellers thrown on. Like teenage boys wore cologne, So, yeah, it wasn't this bottle. It was, actually, I don't think it was an original bottle. I think it was a clone, now that I think about it. I'm pretty sure it was a Belcam clone. But it was cool water. And yeah, when I smell that, I think of, like I said, many things, but that really popped in my mind because we were talking about it the other day, or talking about some of the silly things we did the other day. And so anyway, as the day turns into evening, we start with you start settling down. We made a big bonfire, and I got to explain the beach too. The beach is uh, it's called the Res. It was the old reservoir for the village, because this whole area where I'm at now, because I'm pretty much in the same area now again, was farmland. There was only a dozen or so farms here back in the 50s or 60s. Then it got built up in the 70s and 80s into like a suburb and stuff. But that big and huge lake was the town reservoir, the drinking water for the farms and stuff. So it was always called the Res. It wasn't because it was an Indian reservation or anything like that. It was the reservoir. They just called it the Res. And anyway, it's a huge lake, and I mean there's woods. I mean woods. I'm talking thick woods all around it. It's like pretty much in the middle of the woods. If it hadn't been, you know, a road hadn't been gone to it, in a parking lot now. Well, there's been a parking lot there for before I was born, but you know what I'm saying. It would have been in the middle of the woods back then. And so in around this lake, there's little, inlets or whatever you want to call them, of little places you can drive in. And to get to this one, this is an area on this lake we call the Tenpenny, its own little area, um, little beach. And during the daytime, we were on the main beach, like I said, playing football and stuff. And then when it started getting a little dark, we all made our way to the Tenpenny. You get to the Tenpenny, you either had to walk, which was actually pretty rough walk. I mean, when I say woods, it's rocks, it's broken trees and branches and paths and mud, or you had to have a 4-wheel drive vehicle, which most boys around here at that time still, I mean, even now still do, because we live in a relatively rugged area, believe it or not, still. And So drove our vehicles over, and a few of us walked over, and we started our bonfire. And we had marshmallows and hot dogs and things like that. You do at a bonfire with your kids, and alcohol, lots of alcohol. And I had brought, oh, everybody brought a change of clothes because it gets a little, still even late June, it gets a little chilly at night around here, um, especially right off the lake, the cold air coming in from the lake. And so, I had a pair of, nice pair of joggers and a sweater and whatnot. And I put on a couple sprays of this Gravity. I brought Gravity with me. And I put on a couple sprays of that for the night, a little darker, a little heavier than cool water was. And so, I'm looking good, all athletic out with my jogging suit, and smelling like a full grown ass banker. I mean, quite honestly, but still great, still great. And so we're sitting around we're drinking, doing shots of, there was tequila there was vodka, there was mixed drinks. You're drinking, you're partying. And anyway, we're sitting by the fire, and then I was talking. I believe her name was Sarah or Sandra or Sash or something like that. Girl that was down from another city. She was visiting. She was the cousin of one of my buddy's girlfriends, and we were talking. As you're talking, she's getting closer and closer and closer and closer until she's kind of like right up against me, and then she's got her head on my shoulder, and then I put my arm up and around her. She got her head there. We're talking through the night, and she actually told me I smelled really good. Thank you, Gravity. She's always smelled really nice. Like, thank you. It's the Gravity. And I made a stupid Gravity joke about drawing her in, like I always do when I talk about Gravity. She laughed. She didn't find it funny, but she laughed at my joke. God damn it, she's the one. uh, and then we kissed. No hanky panky or anything. You just kind of kissed, held hands, held each other the night, talked and stuff like that. And no funny business. And just sat in the light of the fire and the moon and the stars, right? And just had a great time. And, I don't mean to get poetic or anything but I'm going to try to paint you a picture at what I really, during a certain moment when you're kind of into somebody in a situation like that, everything else kind of disappears. You know what I mean? Just for a second. And we're sitting there talking, and I don't remember anybody else being around, just the firelight and the moon and the sound of the lake and the loons, the Canadian geese, the loony, um, going in the background, and looking at her and thinking how pretty she was, and especially in that fire and like the moonlight and stuff. And and I remember she had dark hair, dark eyes, dark skin, and the fire just danced in her eyes, man. Oh, she was a pretty girl. She was a pretty girl. And I never went any further with it. She had left a couple days later to go back home. And, it's one of those things you kind of kick yourself in the ass for. But I also remember when we first kissed, the song that was playing, we had a little portable AM/FM radio. Well, it was a cassette player, AM/FM radio, but nobody had cassettes. Even then, it was all CDs. But we were playing the radio, the classic rock station, because most of us liked classic rock, 70s rock, and 70s and 80s rock. And when we kissed, Hotel California by the Eagles had just started playing. And so now whenever I hear that song and smell Gravity, not all the time, but it's one of the memories that come to, I mostly when I hear the song, believe it or not so much smelling the Gravity. Then the Gravity comes afterwards, like when I hear the song. But I think of her, and you sit there, you think, yeah, geez, I wonder what she's doing, all this stuff. And I've thought about, I wonder if when she hears that song, or if she ever smells Gravity again, if it makes her think of me. You know what I mean? And that night, how it was a special night. It was one of the first special nights I remember having as basically a young adult, right? Going from, I'm on the verge from being a boy to a man. You know, it's a really special time for a young man, for a young man. It's a really special time, and and it's one of the reasons I like fragrances so much, guys. Is I have so many memories. I'm going to do more videos like this if you guys like them, because I have lots and lots of memories with many different colognes and many different memories with one cologne. Like I could tell you 20 memories with Gravity and Cool Water, right? But yeah, I just wonder sometimes, what she's doing. Like if she ever thinks about like, because it's nice to think that somebody somewhere has a good memory of you. You know what I mean? Like a good memory of you. That's nice to think that, and maybe not all the time, but every now and then she'll hear Hotel California and, oh, geez, what was his name? I remember it. She probably don't remember my name. I don't really remember hers either, truth be told, like I said. But maybe she's every now and then, and said probably married with kids now. That's cool. I mean, we're older now. But she was so pretty, right? Just so pretty. And I just wonder if, and I've thought about looking her up on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, maybe trying to talk every now and then to her over the years. But then I got thinking, no, some things are better left to memory. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, we ran into each other accidentally somewhere. I don't know, at a mall or something. Like I'd never be at the mall, not very often. But you know what I mean. You ever run into her? Maybe then. But I'm not going to purposely look her up because some things are just there are certain things in life that are better left just the way they are. Memories are better left the way they are. Sometimes it's because she's a very strong, important memory to me, and I wouldn't want to ruin that with reality. So yeah, some things are better left in memory, guys. Honestly, and that's one of them to me. She's better left just yeah, she's better left in my head. Keep her up here. Yeah. So anyway, that's why those two are connected in my mind, and a couple of good little memories with those. Um, that year where like I said, the last real free summer vacation, right? And I haven't had a summer vacation since. I mean, I've taken vacation, but it's been a week or two. I mean, I haven't had a summer vacation since, and nobody usually does, honestly. Not even teachers, they generally have to work through the summer. So, yeah, yeah, like I said, it's better sometimes just to leave it in memory. Um, so yeah, not like I said, not trying to get poetic or wordsmithy on you, but yeah, some things are just left, just yeah, memories. Just so anyway, guys, there you go. I promise you part two. Tell me if you like these kind of videos. I could do a whole bunch more of them in between doing other videos. It's not just going to be this, of course, but I mean, I'm going to do them anyway because I want to. But tell me if you like them. Tell me some stories you have too. Love lost, the one that got away, uh, all that stuff. All right, guys. Peace, love, be good to each other, and be good to yourselves.